So, with the release of Season 18 on Blu-ray, I decided to make a brand new video on one of the most striking aspects of it, and that would be Tom Baker's final costume. It's one of my personal favourites, and I honestly believe it's one of the most striking and definitive looks that a Doctor has ever had, even though it only really lasted one season and one extra episode into Season 19. But honestly, I have a great amount of fondness for this costume, and I am so happy to have finally completed it myself. So, without further ado, let's get to it. The outfit's original conception came from the mind of the wonderfully imaginative June Hudson, who was tasked by incoming showrunner John Nathan Turner to create a brand new costume for the Fourth Doctor to be part of his modernisation for the show, which involved change for many things such as the style and the music. The only thing not to change between seasons 17 and 18 were the lead actors and the TARDIS. It differs significantly from his prior looks, which from season 12 to 17 had gone through more of a subtle evolution process, from Bohemian Traveller to well-dressed Bohemian to casually relaxed Bohemian. In this vibe, season 18's burgundy ensemble throws out the prior evolutionary styles and replaces it with something a lot more stylized, which I can't help but adore, to be honest. So, let's get on to the outfit itself. Now, firstly, the most notable feature is of course the scarf. Now, for this particular outfit, I decided to make it myself, because somehow the prospect of sewing two Lavazzi ones just did not appeal too much to me. Now, obviously, the original scarf was made of chenille fabric that is difficult to knit with, and for someone of my personal ability at this present point in time, I did not feel too comfortable doing it in that particular way. However, I just used regular wool for this scarf, and I followed the pattern as put forth on DoctorWhoScarf.com, and this is what basically happened. Really, it took me about 2.5 months to create. I say 2.5 months. That's more collaborative time. I took a few breaks in between, but I am honestly quite proud of how it came out. I mean, the colours aren't strictly accurate. But I think it's very much close enough. It's my second attempt at a season 18 scarf, and I think it came in a lot better, especially lengthwise as well, because this, I believe, measures out at 20 feet, and 20 feet would be the length of it a la the Leisure Hive, I believe, because it ended up stretching to 24 feet by the time of Logopolis. I honestly really adore this design of the scarf. It's probably my personal favourite of Tom Baker's scarves, even though I love the multicoloured one, but at the same time, this one just has a fantastic visitor to it, and it's just, I just adore it. So how can you make one for yourselves? So essentially, it is just a game of training yourself up to being able to knit if you want to go about it the DIY route. Wool, you can just for the wool I got it mostly from Hobbycraft, so that is certainly a very good go-to place if you want just standard wool. For chenille, I would recommend probably sites like AliExpress, that would be coming from China, and various other places online. You have to really look around, especially if you wanted to go full on colour matches. But essentially, this would be a good place to start if you're a beginner. But yeah, as I mentioned, this scarf pattern is available on DoctorWhoScarf.com, and just follow that as it goes. And of course, if you need any advice, you can just message me on my Instagram. Trust me, I'm on it most of the time. Right, so that's the scarf over. Now let's talk about the other elements of the costume. So next up, it's the coat. This coat, I got this version of the coat. It's essentially like a burgundy Russian greatcoat or something along those lines in terms of design. But I got mine from a site called Cosplay Sky, and they do excellent replicas. This is exactly where I got this from. I mean, if you look at it, it is just very accurate to the original design, and right down to how the collar is splayed out, and just you can even just wrap it up like you had it in Dimensions in Time. That also works. It's just a fantastic replica, and I really like this. And you could also just wear it outside as a normal coat because it is really quite warm. The only thing that needs to be changed is the lining, because it has red lining, but the one in the show has green lining, so that is something I'm going to have to change at some point in time. But undoubtedly, this is no doubt the best replica that is also quite affordable on the market as well. So I would hugely recommend this. It is absolutely astounding if you're willing to put together this outfit. Next up, the shirt and the waistcoat. Now, these two actually come as a package deal, but you can get them from a site called CosDaddy as well. This is honestly, again, an especially well-made replica of the Fourth Doctor's shirt, which isn't exactly that easy to get. I mean, literally, Cosplay is literally the only place that really does it mass-produced, because otherwise you'd have to get it custom-made or something like that. However, the Cosplay version is exceptionally good. I'll rush over so you can have a closer look at the question marks, like so. It is pretty well embroidered, and I love how it all came together. Is honestly one of my favourite cosplay pieces. The only issue I find is the buttons are a little bit loose, so you may need to re-sew them. But other than that, it's pretty solid. Also, the waistcoat is a package deal with the shirt. I mean, it's a lovely, also embroidered and fabric waistcoat that is based on the pattern seen in Logopolis, albeit not strictly incredibly accurate, but it also incredibly does the job, especially since if you wear the full ensemble, the waistcoat will hardly be seen. And although if you do button it up, like so, you will replicate his outfit from Logopolis Part 4, or essentially certain bits of it. I mean, Logopolis Part 4 is pretty much the only episode where he actually has the waistcoat buttoned up, and even then he doesn't really have it buttoned up for that often. So essentially, a regeneration outfit for Peter Davison. So that brings us to the trousers. Now, a perfectly easy budget suitable way to go about the trousers would be just to get burgundy chinos, because that just represents the block colour that you need. Dark red, perfectly fine, sorted. However, if you want to go the extra margin, then I would recommend burgundy corduroy trousers, like so. These are the ones I'm planning to get modified and updated into replicating the Fourth Doctor's actual style, because the way he wore them, they were more like breeches. So they would come up to about here or so, and he'd have the Argyle socks on display. The Argyle socks I don't really have. It's in fact the whole footwear section I need to sort out, but we'll get to that in a minute. So, just so you have a look at the texture, just have a look at here. And it's essentially all very ribbed, but you'd be able to definitely note it if you ever saw it in the shops. So something like this would be incredibly good to find, and you can probably grab a pair on eBay. I mean, these particular Levi's that I picked up in a vintage clothing store, and I think they fantastically do the job. Just need to get them chopped quarter off. But yeah, that's how to go about the trouser section. So for the footwear section, we'll switch to still images since I still haven't really sorted that out. So see you in a sec. The Doctor wears the brown leather cuff boots that he wore in seasons 16 and 17 for the majority of the season, but in a few stories he wears a combination of brown brogue boots and very high red and black knee-high Argyle socks, as per the original design. The boots mysteriously disappeared from the set, so Peter Davison was left with the brogues and the socks, in another regeneration changes the clothes moment. Again, eBay is your best hope of finding the socks, but the brogue should be easier. The boots? Possibly a custom job. Finally, a special shout out to Peter Nolan for his rather excellent article in this month's Doctor Who magazine. I say this month, but that'll become last month very quickly, I know. But he absolutely made an incredible article and is just fantastic read and everything. If you get the chance, feel free to check it out if you're interested in this particular costume, because there's a lot of tidbits in there that are very, very good. You'll find them very enjoyable. And also I made a little cameo as well, and I'm extremely ecstatic about that. So thank you, Peter, once again. So, yeah. Until next time, guys. See ya!